and downstairs.
Ask him to wait a moment, Mrs. Hudson.
He's most insistent.
Easy now, easy.
I must apologize. I have been a little overwrought.
I'm a doctor, sir, and I must insist that you relax yourself and say nothing until you have eaten.
Thank you. If I might have a biscuit and a glass of milk, I have no doubt I should soon be better.
Mrs. Hudson is preparing something at this moment.
Please forgive this weakness. I really must... Mr. Holmes.
At your service. Master of Arts. Doctor of Philosophy. Principal of the Priory School. It is not every day, Dr. Huxtable, that so distinguished a castaway as yourself is beached upon my hearthrug. In speculating what storm had blown you hither, I took the liberty of searching your person. I hope you will forgive me.
Yes, of course.
Please, sit down.
Your watch, unblemished for at least 30 years, suddenly, this morning, scratched. When you thrust those coins unthinkingly into your waistcoat pocket, the stern habit of a lifetime trampled underfoot. A small occurrence, perhaps, but only small, I think, in the way that a vibrating needle may signal an earthquake. The state of your beard demonstrates a considerable disruption to your routine. 3 days ago?
Just so. Mr. Holmes, I beg you to accompany me north to Mackleton immediately. A matter of the utmost importance.
I regret. Dr. Watson and I are extremely pressed just at the moment. I'm retained in the case of the Ferris documents, and Dr. Watson tells me that he's run off his feet by this recent epidemic of scarlet fever. And then, of course, the Abergavenny murder coming up for trial. Now, only a very important issue could call us away at the present.
Important, sir. Important. I dare say you've heard of the Duke of Holderness.
The former cabinet minister?
More than that, Watson. The letter's after his name. Ha! Almost half the alphabet. One of the greatest subjects of the crown. Eh, Dr. Huxtable?
One of the greatest, and probably one of the wealthiest. He is also, I am proud to say, my neighbor. Holderness Hall, his country seat, is across the valley from the Priory School. The Duke is an intensely solitary man. He abhors the prospect of public scrutiny. But such is his anxiety in this matter, that His Grace is prepared to write a cheque for £5,000 to see the business solved, and another £1,000 to see justice visited upon the villains. That is how important it is.
A princely offer, Dr. Huxtable. You have failed only in describing the villainy.
Forgive me. Lord Salter, the Duke's son, his only child, has been abducted.
From the Priory School,
Yes,
where he was in your care.
quite.
And this abduction happened 3 days ago?
Last Saturday night.
Why have you waited so long before consulting me?
His Grace has a deep horror of his family unhappiness being dragged before the world. The police have been requested by the Duke to proceed with such caution, but they...
I see. This affair has been deplorably handled.
I feel it and admit it.
What form did the demand for ransom take?
There has been none. You see,
No demand for ransom.
none. It is one of the most perplexing aspects of the business, for the boy was not alone in his flight. Herr Heidegger, the German master, is also missing. As, indeed, by the way, is his bicycle.
If he has abducted the boy, why has no demand for money been received?
Heidegger came to me from Switzerland with the very best references.
Was any other bicycle missing?
Oh, no.
You're certain?
Quite. Mr. Aveling checked all the bicycles.
Dr. Huxtable, do you really mean to suggest that this German master rode off upon his bicycle in the dead of night, bearing the boy in his arms?
No.
Then what is this theory in your mind?
The bicycle may have been a blind. He may have hidden it somewhere, and the pair gone off on foot.
Surely he would have hidden a couple of bicycles if he desired to give that impression.
Yes, I suppose he would.
Of course he would, Dr. Huxtable. This blind theory of yours will not do. However, it is an admirable starting point for an investigation. Watson, would you send for a cab immediately?
Now, Holmes.
Sat. And pack! We have just enough time to catch the overnight train from St. Pancras. Dr. Huxtable, I should do a little work at your doors. Perhaps the trail is not so cold, but the two old hounds like Watson and myself may get a sniff on it. I imagine the arrival of Lord Salter at your school must have been quite a feather in your cap.
My proudest moment, Mr. Holmes. Ever since Blackwell's published Huxtable's Sidelights on Horace. A notable little success in its day. You may have heard of it.
No. How old is the boy?
9.
And he's been with you how long?
Oh, since the beginning of the winter term. An unusual boy. He seemed to be fitting in well. He,
Yes?
I was about to say, he was not entirely happy at home. The Duke's marriage had not been a peaceful one. It ended in separation by mutual consent last year. The Duchess has returned to her father's palazzo in Venice.
This picture of the Duke's marriage, how did you come by it? Is it common knowledge?
I've had some confidential talks with Mr. Wilder, the Duke's secretary. He has been most helpful.
And I suppose it has been established that the boy has not returned to his mother in Italy.
Oh, yes, yes, it has. I cannot tell you, Mr. Holmes, what a relief it is to me.
Watson!
Your picnic, sir.
Mrs. Hudson. How did you guess?
Experience, Mr. Holmes.
Well, that means the two doctors can picnic away to their heart's content on the train. Even I may find my appetite is keener for a